She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now come on now.
Welcome to another episode of Never Date Just Once, Sis. It is your host, Arthur China T, Coach Erica, and we are here to learn how to roster date if it's the last thing that we do. Last week I discussed ghosting, and it can be done by a narcissist or a gaslighter. It can be done to create a soul tie because of emotional manipulation, or it can be used as an excuse because of a trauma bond. So, I know you heard those terms before, but sis, we need to understand what these words mean and how they play in roster dating. Take notes and make sure you save this video. Recommend it to your sisters, your nieces, your cousins, aunts, whoever's dating. Let's talk real. Because you need to know how to spot the difference between a narcissist and a gaslighter, how to cut these toxic ties off on your roster, and most importantly, how to break free from trauma bonds and soul ties that came before your roster before they mess up your whole flow. Y'all gotta cut them soul ties and those trauma bonds. But first, let's know the difference between a narcissist as a gaslighter. I know y'all have heard it all the time, so let me break it down really quick. A narcissist is a dude who is all about himself, no empathy. He always plays the victim, and somehow everything revolves around his ego. My ex-husband. He wants to control you, but make it look like you're the one tripping. Versus a gaslighter, they are a straight up manipulator. They will twist your words, make you question your memory, and try to convince you that your intuition is off, even when you know it's not. Here's an example. You say to your guy, "It made me uncomfortable when you complimented that girl in front of me." Now, a narcissist gonna say, "Babe, you're too sensitive. I was just being nice. Why are you always starting drama?" But the gaslighter's gonna say, "That never happened. You must have misunderstood. You always imagining things." You see the difference? One makes it all about him, and the other attacks your sanity. Both of these people are dangerous. Neither deserve a spot in your life, on your roster, anywhere near you. But how do you spot one on your roster? Listen, sis, if a man leaves you constantly second guessing yourself, drained after every conversation, or questioning if you're the problem, he's the problem, sis. So you got to look out for these type of things. Over the top love bombing early on. We talked about love bombing. Disrespecting your boundaries and acting like you're the issue. Getting in their feelings when you remind them you have other options. Flipping everything back on you like it's your fault. Saying or doing things that make you question your own reality. Sis, your intuition is never lying. Stop gaslighting yourself by making excuses for that man. If his energy is off, sis, cut him off the roster, get him out of your life. Cut that soul tie or that trauma bond. And since I brought that up, let's talk about soul tie and trauma bond, because a lot of y'all don't know the difference between those as well. Both of these can feel deep. Both can make you feel like it was meant to be, but they are not the same. And let's delve into it. A soul tie is a deep emotional or spiritual connection. It can come from intimacy, deep conversations, or even going through something big together. Not all soul ties are toxic, but when they are, baby, they cling. Here's an example of what a soul tie is. You and this man connect on a level that feels unreal, sis. You finish each other's sentences, he just gets you. But the relationship is a roller coaster. One minute you're flying high, the next you're spiraling down. That might be a soul tie that's run its course. On the other hand, a trauma bond, now this is different. This forms through consistent hurt. You start craving the same person who has been breaking you. You justify the pain. You get addicted to the highs that come after the lows. Here's an example, sis. He ghosted you. Then he came back crying with excuses. You took him back, and he constantly does it over and over, and you take him back over and over. You say it's love, but deep down, it's survival. That's a trauma bond, sis, not your soulmate. Now, I guess you want to know, how do you know it's a trauma bond and not love? Well, you're going to ask yourself the following questions, sis. Number one, do I feel safe with him, or do I feel anxious 80% of the time? Number two, do I love the man in front of me, or the fantasy I made up in my head? Number three, do I feel empowered or low-key dependent on his crumbs? Number 4, am I scared to leave because I love him or because I don't want to start over? If it feels like you're fighting for a spot in his life or constantly chasing peace with him, you're in a trauma bond, not a love story. It's time for you to go ahead and heal that trauma and break free. Now, how do we break free from trauma bond and soul ties? It's several things you need to do. So let's jump into it. For one, call it what it is, sis. Stop dressing it up. Stop calling it a complicated situation. Stop calling it a sneaky link. It's toxic. It's hurting you. Name it so you can heal it. You want to go cold turkey. Block, delete, don't answer the messages, don't check the story, don't reread messages, don't answer the phone. This man is not your medicine. He's your addiction. Fill the void. Stop pouring back into you. Journal, pray, cry it out. Book a coaching session. Book a solo trip. Do things that remind you that you are you without him. Heal the pattern, sis. Ask yourself, what part of me chose him? What part did I ignore? What red flags did I paint pink? You can't just break the bond. You got to heal what attracted you to him. Then forgive yourself. And we talk about this all the time. Apologize and stop beating yourself up for staying too long or loving too hard. You were doing the best with what you knew and what you had. But now you know better, so you'll do better. How these things messes up your roster. Here's where it gets serious and it matters. If you don't heal from the narcissists, the gaslighters, the trauma bonds, or the soul ties, you'll keep picking the same men, different name, different face, different address. You'll feel drawn to chaos and reject peace because it feels boring. You'll push away healthy, available men because they don't trigger the same highs as your toxic boos. And your roster will start reflecting your wounds instead of your worth. Let me give you an example. You got 5 men on your roster. One of them barely calls. He's inconsistent. But for some reason, every time he texts, your heart skip a beat, sis. That's trauma, sis. That's not love. Another man is kind, consistent, and intentional. But you say he's too nice or he a bugaboo. No, baby. He's just healthy. And your nervous system doesn't recognize a safety yet. So this is why healing is non-negotiable. We're going to circle this block every time. You can't build a peaceful, powerful, purposeful roster while still bonded to somebody who broke you in half and left you for dead. When you're healed, you don't chase energy, you choose it. You know the difference between butterflies and anxiety. You set your standards without apology. You attract men who match your peace, not disturb it. Healing makes you dangerous, sis, but in a good way, because you stop settling. You stop shrinking to fit into this box. You stop trying to fix broken men, and you started walking like you are the prize, sis, because you are. So let the narcissists and gaslighters be a part of your testimony, not your timeline, sis. Let those soul ties and trauma bonds be lessons, not life sentences. You've got too much magic, too much power, and too much future to keep dancing with demons who were meant to defeat you, but you are defeating them. But you first got to go heal first. Apologize to yourself, forgive self, get back to your self-love, get back to your femininity, and then you'll be ready to build your roster. It's just that simple, sis. Recognize the gaslighters, recognize the trauma bonds, the soul ties, the narcissists. Keep them out of the way and learn how to cut those bonds before they become a big problem. When you do all of that, you will have a healthy roster full of men who all want you. And the ones who don't, you're going to know how to get rid of them without a problem. All right, sis, it was great talking to y'all. Stay tuned Wednesday for Clean Your Dating Habits Up. I'll see y'all later.